I can't hear you. Hello? 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 Nothing. Nope. Nope. Did your wife turn the volume down on you? Nothing. The strong silent type. It was working a second ago. Technical difficulties. Please stand by.
Okay.
Did you pay your electric bill?
You know
There you
what?
go.
Yeah, there you go. All right. So we are back. Phil and Oscar with Focus
I
on
was
You.
I was here. I was
Yeah.
here the whole time. You were
You no, you weren't. No, you were just making fun of me. You probably pulled my mic out. That's what happened.
moi.
That is it. It was you. It was you. The whole time it was you. Well, okay, we are supposed to have a wonderful, wonderful guest on today. From the
What?
beautiful Costa Mexico. I believe she moved from Puerto Vallarta. So we're going
Oh, really?
to get caught up. Yeah. We're going to get caught up on what Miss Julianne is doing now. But we have a video to show you, and we'll show you that a little bit later because our good friend Oscar is going to give you a quick update as to what's going on in the legal world of Legal Shield. And then he's going to talk to you about uh, our Rescue or OUR, Underground Railroad. I don't know what they're called now, but he's going to give us an update on that as well. They're doing some wonderful things. So here we go to you, Oscar.
Good afternoon, morning, evening, or wherever you are when you're watching us. Oscar Capel. I am your local Legal Shield and ID Shield associate. Means I am an independent associate and I can work in 50 states and all of Canada. Um, what we do as an associate is we help individuals, families, and businesses navigate the legal world. And you might say, well, I don't have any legal issues. Why should I? Every time that you click I agree, a lawyer has written that out and you're agreeing to something that you have not read. I know that because I don't read them. And the reason I don't read them is I print it out and I send it to the law firm, let them read it and see what I can do and what I can't do. There are at least four of these I agree buttons that I'm glad that I sent the information to them because I did not agree. I just deleted the whole thing. I did not like the kind of overreach that those businesses had. So yeah, every time you click one of those, we use the legal system more than we know because we're always doing something with somebody else's lawyer. The top five areas of law that we handle with Legal Shield. If you're not familiar with Legal Shield, they take one law firm per state and have that state specific law firm handle all of the legal issues in that state. So, top five things: consumer finance, estate planning. Do you have a will? Do you have an updated will? How to get one without the tens of thousands of dollars that it costs. Actually, it's just a few $1,000s cost to get a will done. Estate planning, landlord tenant dispute. If you're a landlord or you're a tenant, you have dispute with either one, have a lawyer help you out with that. Real estate, you're buying a house, you're selling a house. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be done that are legal. We had a house that we basically inherited out in Florida and called my local attorney. I said, what do I do? They put me in touch with a law firm down there and I got everything done through the mail. It was incredible. Family law, you're getting a divorce. You're adopting a child. There's a child support dispute, things like that. Things that having legal counsel on your side helps you out on a daily basis. The other thing we do is we market ID Shield, which is not only I think Forbes has it the past 3 years as the best identity theft restoration system there is out there. But they also did a great thing. They partnered up with Trend Micro. I have it on my laptop, and it's incredible because it will check my email. It will check every single site. It'll tell me that it's checking for malware, all of that stuff in the background, so I know I can surf the web without a problem. And I have VPN on my phone now because of Trend Micro, so there's no charge for that. It's included with your ID Shield account. So that is what we do in legal and ID. Also with with ID Shield and Trend, we do reputation management. Over 7,100,000 pieces of content were analyzed last year. And that is, again, you have kids and they're on the internet, they're posting stuff. And if you want them to eventually move out of the house and get a job, um, you want to make sure that their social media is pretty clean before they go for that interview, because you know HR is going to be looking at that social media. So now I've had them scrub mine and literally found things that I had posted years ago that were fine then, but now in this day and age, I'd rather not have those pictures up on the internet. Through our line of sponsorship, we have been funding Our Rescue, which is a nonprofit that works to stop child sex trafficking in the U.S. and around the world. And it's an ongoing fight, and unfortunately it's getting worse, simply because as bad as human trafficking is, when there's a war, human trafficking picks up. When there's an open border like we have now, human trafficking picks up. Why? Because now the cartels are moving drugs and they're moving people, and it's getting harder and harder to stop it. But it takes a village. It takes everyone doing their part to see what's going on. There's a great movie called "It's Happening Right Here," and what that does is it shows you how trafficking is done here in the U.S. It's not a van pulling up and taking kids away, even though that does happen. But here, it's mostly kids get hooked in online. You wouldn't let your kid talk to a stranger in the park, but there's no one stopping your kid from talking to a stranger online when they're in a chat in their favorite game. So they're playing a game with other 15-year-olds, and the chat's going on, and that's not a 15-year-old in the chat. That is a predator in the chat, and there's no way for you to know unless you do some homework and figure out how to protect your kids from online predators. So if you go to ourrescue.org, a lot of information is there. You can donate to them. You can donate time. You can just do whatever you need to do to spread the word and make sure people take advantage of the resources that are out there to protect everybody that we know. So that's all I have for today. Phil, back to you. Has our guest arrived?
Well, that depends on how you see arrived. But you know what? You know how we roll. We'll move on. We'll create this. We'll make it happen. All right. So we expecting a guest. She'll be having some technical difficulties as well because she's coming out of Mexico. We don't know what their internet system is like.
You want to run? You want to run her video? Her background video?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to run this video here so you can see a little bit about who we were going to have on, and we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it a little bit as well. So here we go.
The Vortex TV channel is the place where real people in real time share their real, authentic stories from their soul. In the Vortex, you will align with your desires, inspiration, passion, joy, and wisdom, and share your unique gift with the world. This global TV channel can be found on Roku TV, Amazon Fire, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and direct stream from the House of Influence website. These platforms reach billions of people across the world and create a ripple effect of attracting the necessary resources and opportunities needed to manifest ideas that help humanity and transform the world. The Vortex is the place where dreams become reality and where ideas are given energy to build, grow, and evolve. The House of Influence is a retreat center in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, and Julianne is the owner and host, and interviews positive, inspiring people who co-create at the center to write books and create new projects and ideas to help humanity. Julianne also shares episodes from Life with Collective Purpose, her podcast show. Tune in to the Vortex TV channel.
All right. Hey, my dude.
Cool. I like that. I was looking at her website earlier. There was something I wanted to ask her. She's writing a book with someone, and the person is working with orphanages, which, a person with no kids working with orphanages, that is dedication. Yeah, one of the things that OUR Rescue does is they have rehabilitation services for kids that were formerly trafficked. So, getting them back into society and working and going through that, all the trauma they went through, and now back to reality.
Yeah. I mean, that is amazing. If she, some of the stuff that she's doing, man, is just fantastic. Like, this is their website here. If you go to House of Influence Publishing and Media.com, this is where I'm at right now. You'll see some of the stuff that she has going on. And she's talking about her Vortex TV, which we are helping publish for her right here on our Phoenix National Network. So if you go to our Roku or Amazon Fire TV platform, that is what you will see. You will see some of her programs streaming on her website. Some great topics that they talk about as well. And also you can catch each episode separately as well. So, it's a nice platform. She's doing some stuff, some really good projects over there. She's looking to establish a eco community.
Ooh.
I wanted to ask her more about that, but it's like one of those communities that you can move in and everything is fresh off the land, right? It's like you could go outside and pick your own mangoes and coconuts, and I see that smile on your face. I know you know.
Well, what's funny is I lived in Costa Rica for 5 years, and there were those communities that were self-sufficient, and not necessarily in the rainforest, but in the cloud forest and some in the rainforest. And it's just this beautiful commune that everybody works, and they live off the land. And it's the way things are going. I'm looking, I might be going back, just get myself a little hut.
Isn't that something? I think we both might be doing that. I might have to go with you.
Yeah.
And kind of, we might have to see what happens in that situation.
I still have my sharpened machete, so I'm ready to go.
I know how to use a machete.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I found out over there? There are different machetes for different jobs.
Oh,
like there's
really?
a machete for cutting grass, which
yes,
it's a handle, and then it drops, and then the blade is on. It's offset. This way you don't whack your knuckles on the ground. I'm like,
there was a guy that used to, well, not mow our lawn, but chop our lawn. And I used to see him just so, I mean, even too, not like this thing, he was.
Oh, yeah. Like a surgeon.
He was like a surgeon, right? And I'm like, how does he do that? I tried it. I did try it when I was about 5 years old.
That's why you have 9 toes now.
Okay, back in the day is not like now. Oscar and I were probably using a machete at the age of 2.
Listen, I learned to cook when I was about like 9 or 10, and a big chef knife, just know how to use it.
It
It's all
was
training.
survival of the fittest, man.
Listen, but when we grew up, I think Channel 5 at 10 o'clock used to run this. It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your kids are? They had to remind parents that they have children. I'm like, oh yeah, I got a kid out there somewhere. Why'd we drink out of hoses? We weren't allowed inside. Say, go find your way. Come back later when the sun goes down.
If we were sitting inside for too long, our parents would be concerned. They were like,
That's
"Why aren't you running around right now?"
I saw this great video. This father's punishing this kid by making him go outside. The kid's like yelling in the kitchen window, I want to go inside. No, go play outside. I don't know what to do.
Oh my goodness!
I don't have a game. I don't have a game console out here. What do I do? He's like, climb a tree. I don't know, dig a hole.
I know something, man. Play with a worm,
Do stuff.
try to
Yeah.
find a snake, something. I mean, we live dangerously, man.
We were free range children, basically.
I was telling my wife the other day. I said, no, if you saw some of the stuff I put in my mouth as a kid, I'm surprised I'm alive right now.
Yeah, I remember telling my father stories of what I'm doing. He goes, please don't tell me these things. I want to be able to sleep at night. Don't tell me what you do out there.
You gotta love it, man.
Well, we might be the reason why kids are being so protected now. It's like, you see those
We
kids?
are the reason. Okay.
Listen, even our playgrounds were Darwin inspired. We had monkey bars that the only thing that broke our fall was either concrete or asphalt. Now they got like all this spongy stuff.
I know. I mean, I'm like, if you break a leg, you're like, get over it, man. You'll
You
survive.
get another one. Hop. Let's go.
Start walking. Like, okay.
Walk it off.
Okay.
You remember the slides? They were like steel, and they were in the summer. They were like
They were steel. They were hot.
yeah, and they were warmed by the sun. And I think the seesaw was invented by chiropractors, because I think most of my disc damage comes from the damn. You're up on top, and whoever's on the bottom jumps off. Slam with the.
Anybody who's listening to this, we're talking about beyond the 70s, like the 80s, right? The 80s, 70s, 80s. This is the age that we're talking about.
Oh, I grew up in the 60s.
Time.
I was in the 60s, and that was even worse.
Just say it.
We played in the street, in traffic. You know, when they say go play in traffic, that's where we played stickball, in traffic.
Oh my god! Yeah. Basically,
the side mirror was second base.
I know definitely that we walked a whole lot more. I remember walking for literally, I would walk for maybe an hour and a half and not even feel it. But it was like, okay, it was like a norm. Okay, the bus didn't come. Guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to walk.
I found out, after driving, how long I would walk, because I lived in the Northeast Bronx, and my friend and I would walk to the Botanic Garden or the Bronx Zoo. And now I'm like, it's taking me 20 minutes to get there by car. Like, it was a whole day walk down there. Oh, that was fun. That was a fun times. And we had the neighborhood watch, which was the old ladies on the second floor that would sit there and, hey, who are you? What's that kid?
You know what? I think that one sec.
You got the controls.
There were different times too, because we talked about communities raising kids. You could literally, in some cases, not every case, but in some cases, the shop owner knew your dad and your mom, and
You could buy liquor and cigarettes because they knew that you were 6 years old and you were taking that home. It was, I need a
exactly.
6-pack and some Marlboros. Here they go.
Whatever you came to get, they knew
No, man,
mom and dad sent you. And in fact, mom and dad probably, told them, "Hey, I'm sending Joey, or in your case, Oscar, to pick up this. You know what to do. They'll
yeah,
seal the bag, give it to you, and be like, you open this. Your
right.
father will send you packing."
You know what's funny? You say that the neighborhood watch. There was a party at our apartment one day, and there were people drinking beer, and I'm like, I want a beer, I want a beer. My mother, like, she takes an empty beer can, fills it with 7-Up, and hands it to me. And I walk outside. Here I am with a Pabst Blue Ribbon in my hand, walking down the street at 8 years old. And the neighborhood women are like, ah! And they grab it from, take it from my hand. I'm like all mad that they took my 7-Up, and they run me over to my mother and like, look what your son has. And my mother's great sense of humor says, he only drinks 1 or 2 a day. He's fine.
Listen, let me tell you something. I mean, look, in our culture, in Jamaica, where I'm from, our culture, if you're Christian, you don't drink, right?
Right.
But if you bake it, you're okay.
I'm not drinking it. I'm eating it. What's the?
We have this thing called rum cake.
Oh,
Man, I used to see people just like, hey, yeah, wait a minute, hand me another bottle. Okay, here we go. All right.
this cake's too dry, Mildred.
Yeah,
That's better.
Oscar, these
I'm not
cakes would
drinking. I'm
last.
eating cake. I love that.
I mean, I mean, those cakes would last for a year. I mean, you can have it sit in your cupboard for a year and still smell the rum in it. Ooh, there it is. It's still fresh.
It's rum cake.
It's rum. Literally. Sometimes you'd see it just seeping out the bottom of the cake. Just like,
Ah, the good old days.
that was our childhood. Disturbing, isn't it?
Nah, we were free range children. This play date, play date.
No.
But we made it. We learned that. There were never any kids on the side of milk cartons that had disappeared from the Bronx.
Right.
We knew better. We're in the Midwest, so it's like, hey, kid,
No.
get away from me. What do you want?
No,
To this day,
no-
I'm like, who are you?
nobody would dare touch another child like in the community, because it was just
Yeah, everybody knew everybody.
everybody knew everybody, right? You know what I'm saying? So they were like, I saw so and so, and he was walking around the neighborhood all kind of weird. All right, let's go get him. I mean, the police had less work. Let's just
There
call
was
it that way.
in the Little Italy in the Bronx was voted the safest neighborhood in all of the USA. And the news guys went down there and they interviewed a guy. Said, so this is incredible. There's no crime here. And the guy's like, well, there's crime, but we kind of take care of it. The little we have doesn't make the news, if you know what I mean. I mean, we had a blackout in New York a couple of times, and one of the blackouts, it was a bunch of looting, but not in the
Not
Bronx.
in there.
Not there. They
Nope.
was old. I
Nope.
remember walking by, old guy sitting in front of his store with a shotgun on his lap, and he's like, "Yeah, everything's fine here." So yeah, it's like, no, if you don't tolerate crime, you don't have it. It's not.
Yeah, but times has definitely changed for sure. You know, uh, everything is monitored, and with the internet, I think there's several things that changed society. Right? Television first. When television came along, that was a big change.
Now,
Right?
and again, when we were kids, cartoons were only Saturday up until 10 o'clock, and then 10 o'clock in the morning it was just
Okay.
stupid shows that kids wouldn't watch. So you'd go outside. Now it's
Let's
24/7.
let's not talk about the cartoons we used to watch. It's not even. Don't bring up cartoons now are so innocent. Our
Yeah.
cartoons had
And you couldn't use a blowtorch on someone's butt. It was like
I
hitting
mean,
people in the head with a shovel was.
some
But
of
we
the
didn't do it. We were smart enough to know it was a cartoon. Now you got kids eating Tide Pods. We need the 1970s Darwin, to show up. It's like you eat a
Bugs
Tide Pod,
Bunny.
you should not have children. You should not.
Bugs Bunny was just not. In fact, in fact, back then when Bugs Bunny first came out, it was an adult cartoon. It wasn't for kids. But
No, what's funny with Bugs Bunny,
Roger Rabbit.
people don't realize how much culture you learned with Bugs Bunny. I mean, you had Lenny and George from Of Mice and Men, and you find out later on it's like, well, George and Lenny, that's Of Mice and Men. When you read that, I'm like, I know these characters. They were hanging around with Bugs Bunny and all the classical music they played there. It was incredible.
It was incredible.
Now
I
you got like what,
mean,
Ren and Stimpy and SpongeBob, and that's why the aliens won't come down and talk to us. They lock the doors as they fly by. It's like there's no
oh
intelligent life
no, no,
down.
no. See, it was Bugs Bunny that originally scared aliens. Okay, I'm telling you, him and Elmo Fudd.
Wait,
Elmo Fudd would shoot at anything that was moving.
there you go.
Okay, I mean,
And
and
remember,
he was a
remember
good.
Marvin the Martian kept getting his butt kicked by Daffy and Bugs. So yeah, that's why the aliens. You're right. That's why, because of Bugs
See,
Bunny, the aliens. Look what they did to Marvin.
Elmo Elmo Fudd's buckshot would blow away a tree. You remember? He would like boom, and a tree would just disappear. Okay, I don't know if they make. I don't know if they make shotguns like that anymore. You know, I mean, it was just amazing, and he would be constantly hitting Bugs Bunny down. It's like,
Duck season, rabbit
or
season. Yes.
duck season, duck season, rabbit season, duck season, rabbit season, and or who was it? Roadrunner.
Here's something
Remember
that people don't
Roadrunner?
realize.
Uh,
The Coyote was never given credit for being such a great artist. That dude could draw a tunnel on a rock face and have a train come out of it. Like, nobody gives him credit. He should have just stopped that and just went into art. He would have made a
that
fortune.
I think we missed it. We missed it there. We missed it there. That's for sure. We missed it
I'm
there.
looking at it. Look at that
I'm
artistic
sure
ability.
somebody is going to be listening to this going, what are they talking about? Bugs
All right,
Bunny,
kids,
Roadrunner.
your job is to go back to
Several generations before now,
vintage
before Disney.
comedy. Like I tell young people now, like, have you watched like Casablanca? And they're like, what? It's these are you know what? People now cannot watch Humphrey Bogart movies.
No,
It is
no.
so complicated. You need a scorecard to figure out what's going on. I mean, it's an hour and a half or 2 hours with 7,000 characters and 400 plot lines. It's like, wait, who did what? Who said?
Uh, is there a storyline to this?
It is. you gotta like go backwards. Like,
Okay,
who's this
so
guy they're talking about an hour and a half in? Like, oh yeah, he showed up in the first frame, and that we had to
now
remember that part of the movie.
we're talking about comedy, right? How has comedy changed from
Comedy's not funny anymore.
the Carol Burnett show? The stuff that we used to crack up about.
Like you said, it was innocent comedy, and you know
those comedians would have been out of business right now.
Yeah, there was just such good comedy, but and if you watch that, you see how dated they are. Also, our tastes have changed. So stuff that was funny way back in Carol Burnett's time is just like, well, that's stupid.
Yo, they had the Benny Hill show. And that was British comedy coming over to the US.
Oh man,
right? That was something else. That was something else, man. And of course, let's not forget the late comedian there. I forgot his name. He played in Superman. He was the one that was in Superman 3, I think it was. You're looking him up?
yeah, I can't remember who it was.
My
Comedian in Superman. I don't know. I gotta find out. I gotta get off the full.
Okay, so anyway, we are about to close out because that's just time. And we were just reminiscing on what it was like when we were growing up and the differences between then and now. Kids, y'all are enjoying a great time. And we had a blast as kids. That's all we're saying. Oh, our childhood had no internet involved. We were outside making history versus watching history. It was just wonderful time to be a kid and enjoy your childhood. Don't try to grow up too fast.
It's a trap.
I said to somebody, I said, when we were kids, we really wanted to be adults. And now that we're adults, we wish we were more like kids.
That's it. Don't grow up. It's a trap.
This whole thing is a setup. Right?
Everything I need to know, I learned in kindergarten. Play nice, hold hands when you cross the street, share your stuff, and take a nap. Take a nap in the afternoon.
Foundation, the golden rule, So anyway, thank you for listening to us babble. We will be back next week with a great guest for you, and hope to see you then. Take care, everybody.